Hello, it's your girl, Shartia Love Jones, better known as Shartia Divine, here with Girl Version Media with yet another amazing exclusive interview. It's been a while. We've been through COVID. We've missed you, and we hope you've missed us as well. I am here today with none other than the amazing Miss Psalms Frye from Peace and Compassion Birth Services. You all, today we are going to discuss something that is high on the rise, something that I've been blessed to experience, and I am just super excited to speak with Miss Frye. Miss Frye, how are you today?
Good morning. I'm doing well. Thank you.
Yes, good morning. Good morning to you. I received that. You know, a lot of people have no clue what a doula is. And I know that I have my experience, but I want you to explain what is a doula.
So essentially, a doula is a labor support person who provides emotional, physical, and educational support before, during, and after childbirth. So that educational support is based on research, evidence-based research data. And so we're not in there just giving our opinions. We follow the mother. We empower her to make her own decisions, or her family to make their own decisions. But it's based on evidence-based research.
I love that. I love that. And I think that's the piece that people miss when they consider a doula and they talk about doulas and midwives. And we'll get to that a little bit later. Are doulas important for both mom and dad?
Absolutely. So with the mother, we are more hands-on with her. We're keeping her focused in labor. We are keeping her as comfortable as possible. With dad, he may want to be hands-on and he may want to be hands-off. And so with the dad, he can rest assured that someone is there with his significant other, helping her along and meeting her needs where he may not be able to.
You know, that's a very key part that you're talking about. A lot of doctors and in other situations or capacities at the hospital, they don't really consider the dads. So I like that. Can you share an experience where your presence was very important for a dad?
Wow, that's a good question. My last birth with a young lady and her significant other, she wasn't progressing. And they were just like, what is going on? Keeping dad comfortable, keeping dad, what's the word? Keeping dad kind of a bay a little bit, because he was a little frustrated. And you have to say, it's going to be okay, dad, because they don't understand birth. They've never given birth. And so you have to give him that evidence-based research and give him more information. When we are educated, then we feel more at ease. We feel more calm and we feel at peace. So when you can educate him as well as mom, it gives him some reassurance.
Yeah. I love that. It's like the offering the why, you know, when you can explain the why and teach from that capacity and have that knowledge that you have, and that peace and compassion that I can feel through these airwaves here. I'm sure that you were able to be an ultimate success and that they really appreciated you. Thank you for sharing that story. Psalms Frye, you know, a lot of people confuse doulas and midwives. I think sometimes they lump you together and just kind of box you in as one. And I know that there are differences. Can you explain to our audience, like, what are the differences between those two?
Sure. So there are differences between doulas and midwives. So doulas are not medically trained professionals. We do not do cervical checks. We do not go in and catch the baby when the baby comes out. We're there for the mother, like I said, emotionally, keeping her informed and showing her different physical techniques that can progress labor. The midwife comes in and she's checking the mom's health, the baby's health, doing cervical checks, kind of telling the mom what they think should happen next in labor, depending on where labor is taking the mom.
Okay. Oftentimes, do you find yourself in a room with a midwife? Are you two present together sometimes?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Midwife is coming in. Remember, midwives or physicians, they have other moms if they're at the hospital. They have other moms that they have to see. Doula never leaves. We never leave your side. We're always there.
Do you do anything outside of like the birthing assistance as a doula? Are there any other areas that you assist in as a doula?
Sure. So as a doula, well, with my doula business, I will, first of all, like you stated, come to your house. Initially, we'll have our initial consultation, which is really important because you want to make sure that we're a good fit.
Oh, come on with that.
You may not be a good fit for me. I may not be a good fit for you. So
say that one more time. Say that one more time.
I may not be a good fit for you, and you may not be a good fit for me. And that could be based on your belief system. It can be based on cultural background. It can just be based on personality. So again, this is one of the most stressful areas or experiences that you are going through. And like you said, when you're in that moment, you need everything to come together. You need to be able to trust who you have in that space. Wow. And so we do an initial consultation. We'll also do a prenatal meeting where I will show you what we're going to be doing in the labor and delivery room. Of course, we will go as labor progresses and see what we need to do depending on how it progresses. But I'll show you some positions that you might want to do to progress labor. And then there's labor and delivery. I'm there. And then after labor and delivery, in about 6 weeks or so, or depending on what mom needs, I'll check back in with you postpartum. And then we will see how you're doing, how baby's doing. Maybe you need a nap. Your doula got you. And I can just kind of sit there with baby while you just get rest. We need rest. We just came out of labor, which usually means work. And so you may need that time to just collect your thoughts, relax. And then depending on what kind of labor you had, maybe you had a C-section, you can't do everything. So maybe I can help you with a little bit of light housework. So we do postpartum visits as well.
Wow.
So that's the general role of a doula, is just seeing to your needs. That's what a doula means, women's servant. That's exactly what it means, women's servant. And they've been here since the beginning of time. They just didn't have the training that we have now. They didn't have like the title, but even in the Bible days, they had doulas and midwives.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I love it. Thank you for that amazing explanation. Hearing that compassion come through with you stating you would be there after, just to lend a hand, just to see if mom needs a break, and just to see if something needs to be done in the house is huge, because there's so much postpartum that occurs. I will be transparent. I definitely had postpartum, and to know that you would come in to assist after. I know that I was struggling with the latch portion. And if it wasn't for my doula, I would have given up. And I am so grateful that I was able to breastfeed. And it was because of, the doula's energy and assistance. And those are the types of things that you do, the encouragement, like, no, you can do this. Like, it's okay, keep on. And I just really love that. Like, I love that you check on them after, because how many services do you have that they stop and it's like, oh, thanks, congratulations, see you later. So that's awesome. So with that being said, and that compassion and that passion, what was it, and like, when did it occur to you that you wanted to be a doula and pursue this as a career path?
So believe it or not, I'm a married mom of 5. My youngest
Okay.
is 3.
Okay.
Out of all the internet
Right.
searches and all the experiences, somehow doula passed me by. I would have tried to get a doula. So I never had a doula. And so
Yes.
the idea came to me at the end of my 5th birth. And I was like,
Okay.
people need assistance, especially us with the Black maternity crisis that's going on. And we
Yeah.
need each other at this time. So our sisters need us. And
Yeah.
so I decided, I'm done having children.
Mm-hmm.
And so I decided that I want to be there for other moms who may not know what a doula is and what a doula does. I can come alongside her and say, hey, I'm here for you.
Yes.
And so that was the point. And then there was in the news a guy out of California named Charles Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
And he went like national news and told his story about how his wife had a baby,
Mm-hmm.
and she started complaining about pains and things like that and discomfort. And he's sitting there with her like, okay, well, let me get your doctor. He called for the medical staff and they told him, sir, your wife is not a priority right now.
Wow.
This woman died. And when they did her autopsy, they found out there was like 3 liters of blood in her abdomen. Why is she not a priority? They were a Black family. He is still fighting that. I'm not sure if he won his case, but if he didn't yet, he's fighting that case right now.
Wow.
So that baby has to live without its mother, and that husband has to raise that baby without his wife. Wow. So when I read that, before I became a doula, I said something has to be done and I want to be a part of the change.
That's great.
And so that's why you see a rise. That's one of the reasons why you see a rise in Black doulas now. And people are writing books and people are advocating. We need to be there because we can advocate for our clients. We cannot make the decision for you.
Yes.
We can educate you. Like you said, that was a key point. They're talking medical gibberish.
Oh my gosh.
I can come alongside you and say, this is what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do? Talk to them and tell them what you would like, what choice you want to make. These are your choices. This is what you can choose to do. You talk to them and tell them what it is that you would like to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
So the amazing thing is there are more than just birth doulas. There are birth doulas, there are postpartum doulas, there are even death doulas. And because of the Roe versus Wade, I'm finding out that there are even abortion doulas.
Wow.
There are people that can come alongside of you during those crucial times, those crucial decisions that you have to make, and come alongside of you and try to take the burden from you.
Wow. That is really, really key information. I have learned so much in this conversation, and I know that everything that you shared is really going to bless a lot of people. My heart goes out to that family that lost their wife and mother that, should have never taken place. And I'm grateful for your testimony. You said, hey, I never had one, but with these two things combined, it has provided a press in my soul, and I have to do something about that. And I love that. The reason I was able to choose one is because my master's is in early childhood. So we read about them, not a whole lot, not in depth, but when I skimmed it, I was like, wait, somebody can help me when this happens. Wait a minute. And I'm big on, I don't want to say I'm big on non-medical, but I'm big on the more natural progression of things in life, because I feel like, a lot of times the medical field, as you mentioned just now, can fail us, if they have other agendas. And it's almost like my birth process was easier because of it. So I was able to push longer naturally, like without any medication. I was able to endure the pain because of the techniques that I learned, because of her walking with me, and I'm nauseous, and her putting peppermint under my nose, and her just letting me stand in the shower to just kind of get some relief. Just all of these different techniques that you all have, and based on the theories that you learn, really helps so much naturally that by the time I couldn't take it anymore, I needed an epidural, but the doctors were like, I don't even know why you feel that, because we're hardly giving you any. So I almost feel like my body pushed naturally for so long that it only took a little bit, and I pushed twice. I was done, you know. So I know that that was because of my doula experience. I hear a lot of stories about women who go in and they're like, oh, I want the epidural right away, and they have a horrible delivery. I really love the fact that you were very transparent. Like, I had 5 and didn't have one, and realized at that time, like, no, there's a need, and you want to help. Many of us talk about what the world needs, what needs to happen, but we don't do anything to help or to change it. And you are part of this change and this revolution and the transition that we definitely need in this world right now. So thank you again. I'm giving you your flowers. You are greatly appreciated. There are a lot of moms and dads out there watching our show and following on social media. How can they reach you and connect?
So if someone wants to get in contact with me, they could either email me at psalmsthedoula@gmail.com. They can find me on Facebook, Peace and Compassion Birth Services. Okay. I am also on Instagram at PAC Birth Services, Twitter at PAC Birth Service. And then my website is www.peaceandcompassionbirthservices.com.
Thank you, Psalms Frye, for joining us today. Guys, I'm your host, Shartia Love Jones, better known as Shartia Divine, reminding you to get in touch with Psalms Frye from PAC Birth Services for all of your doula needs.
Don't forget to get your life with Girl TV playbacks on YouTube. Follow us on all social media platforms at Girl TV and catch up with the trending news online at www.girlversion.net. We'll see you on the next exclusive interview.